Hi guys, I'm traveling again. I'm not sure where I'm going actually. And I'm taking public transportation. So this morning I had a pretty bad experience so far with the public transportation system. Their drivers are not really being taught to treat the passengers like humans. So they're treating us so badly. And I can't even say that they're treating us like animals because here in the US they have animal protection, you know? So the human passengers apparently do not have protection, to be treated decently. To be treated decently. So this lady, I went to her just to ask her a question. And I didn't even ask her the question, I just said hello. But even before I said hello, her bus came after another one had left because I'm coming from a different county. So my county came and stopped where they're supposed to stop off to let us go. And the other one, before the other one even opened the door to let us out, just took off and didn't have a sign that said out of service or anything. So I was wondering, why in the world did this guy take off like this, or this woman, I don't know, this driver, why did this driver take off? So I just wanted to ask her that because I didn't even want to ask her, because I know that they're probably going to go on break, and the reason that she had stopped, she's probably going to go on a break where she was at because she didn't stop at a place to pick up passengers. So when she saw me coming, because she had people leaving, but the last person left the bus, and as soon as she saw me coming, she closed the door on me. So of course that was shocking to me. Like, why would she just close the door on me so rudely like that? I would think, like, if you're a driver and you see a potential passenger coming to probably inquiring, you would close the door. You would just ask them how may I help you? But she closed the door on me. So I stood in front of the door and she left it closed. She went about gathering her belongings calmly, taking her time. And then when she was ready to leave, she opened the door to leave. So then that's when I asked her, hello, and she started yelling at me. And then I said, wait a minute, why are you yelling at me? I said hello, and she was like, wait a minute, let me talk. You be quiet and let me talk. And I'm like, I didn't say anything, I just said hello. So she didn't even allow me to ask the question and started yelling at me. And so I told her that. I said, wait a minute, why are you yelling at me? I didn't do anything to you. I just said hello, I'm a passenger, so I would assume that you would practice customer service. And she just continued. So, and then she was walking away. So I told her, so then I said, I only wanted to ask you why the previous bus left, and this is the way you're behaving. I said, this is dangerous. This is not how you're supposed to be treating a passenger. At least have a little bit of customer service. And this is like beyond even, like, customer service is an understatement or an overstatement, because this lady was just not treating me right as a fellow human being. She treated me as if I had approached her aggressively when I approached her with a hello. So anyways, I had to call to make a complaint to ask for training for the bus drivers, because you have all kinds of people. This is Miami. You have people coming from all over the world to come and visit. Maybe some of them are like Coco Girl or adventurous and want to try to go on a bus ride, public bus ride. And even the residents of Miami, they need to be treated better. We go through different things. It's not like life is easy, for people to be hired to treat others like that. And I'm thinking, like, this is a position that has a lot of benefits. Why do they have to hire aggressive people like that? I understand this is an aggressive job, but I'm talking about people. You know what? Let me tell you, if it was a machine like a Tesla driving you, at least you would know, okay, Tesla wouldn't answer me, or it would be a machine answering me. But it's almost like these people, they consider themselves only as the drivers, and they're not supposed to be approached to be asked questions. We're supposed to just hop on and get the ride. So the customer service is completely removed, and then if we do approach to say hello or to ask a question, they will treat us aggressively, and that is wrong. I mean, we're humans. We live in a city of humans. So I think that they should start changing the system to try to start, providing human interaction and appreciation of the populace, those who are taking buses, those who are taking the train, those who are taking the public transportation. There should be like a human interaction. We all have our own lives, but it's only human. What kind of life, what kind of standard of life is this? Yeah, things may be expensive and people are getting good money to pay it, but the standard of living is horrible when people cannot have normal human interactions with fellow human beings. So this was my experience here as I head on my way to, where is the one to the airport? I need to go to the airport and I don't get this. As I head on my way to go and get a car so I can do my little trip. See you in a bit. So this is me taking public transportation. This is the Metro Rail. I'm in Arlington Heights. So Arlington Heights is where we stop at to catch the train to the airport. So since I'm coming from the north, I had to come south to Arlington Heights. I caught the train from Martin Luther King and came south to Arlington Heights in order to catch the shuttle to the airport. So it says here that the shuttle will be arriving soon, or now arriving now. So let's see if the shuttle is coming to the airport, Miami Airport in Miami. So this is the heart of Miami. The heart of Miami, guys. So yeah, so it's a beautiful experience to be able to do public transportation. But the horror about the experience is the lack of humanity, the lack of normal human interaction. Hello, how are you? Kind greetings so that you can feel at home. We don't have. So we're able to see the buildings, the new constructions, or what of it, okay? But when it comes to people interaction in Miami, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's like, gone are the days when people had beautiful conversations and beautiful human relationships, you know? Gone are those days. They just don't exist anymore. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's not even about customer service anymore. It was supposed to be about, when you really think of it, it's supposed to be about my fellow human being. You know, interacting with your fellow human being. That's not the case. I don't know if people have gotten used to interacting with cell phones and machines or whatnot. That's why they behave like this. But it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna hop on my train to the airport. Sorry. Alright. Why aren't these people hopping on? Let me go to the next door. Closer the better. Alright. So I have a reservation. Oh, green line. Oh no. Don't tell me I missed the orange line. This is so wrong. So the orange line was the one that was sitting there, and it said it's arriving instead of saying it's leaving. These are the problems, man. These are the problems. It says now arriving, and it was there since my train left, and now it says the green line is now arriving instead of saying green line. I missed the orange line to the airport. And the worst part is that I don't even see the next orange line. Sorry? $1? No, I just used my last dollar for the train. I don't carry change around. So now everything says green line. How about that? How about that? That was so, well, everybody's carrying luggages around here, so I'm assuming everybody's going to the airport. But to think that the train that was here was the orange line, instead of saying departing, it said arriving. And there's nothing on this board here that says orange line. Everything says green line. Alright, these are the frustrations of taking public transportation. So it's been a few months since November, right? When I went to the Mukosuki tribe, I had taken the public transportation here. So I guess I'm not like that with it to have known to hop on that bus and see what line it is. I just saw it there and I saw the sign and I aligned it with the sign that it wasn't there yet, and now I'm wrong.